Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him used to practice itikaf in the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan. Narrated by Aisha. The wife of the Prophet peace be upon him used to practice itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan till he died, and then his wives used to practice itikaf after him. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him used to practice itikaf in the middle 10 days of Ramadan, and once he stayed in itikaf till the night of the 21st, and it was the night in the morning of which he used to come out of his itikaf. The Prophet peace be upon him said, "Whoever was in itikaf with me should stay in itikaf for the last 10 days, for I was informed of the date of the night of Qadr, but I have been caused to forget it. In the dream, I saw myself prostrating in mud and water in the morning of that night. So, look for it in the last 10 nights and in the odd ones of them." It rained that night and the roof of the mosque dribbled as it was made of leaf stalks of date palms. I saw with my own eyes the mark of mud and water on the forehead of the Prophet, in the morning of the 21st. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet peace be upon him used to bend his head out to me while he was in itikaf in the mosque during my monthly periods, and I would comb and oil his hair. Narrated by Aisha. The wife of the Prophet, Allah's Messenger peace be upon him used to let his head in the house while he was in the mosque, and I would comb and oil his hair. When in itikaf he used not to enter the house except for a need. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet peace be upon him used to embrace me during my menses. He also used to put his head out of the mosque while he was in itikaf, and I would wash it during my menses. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet peace be upon him used to embrace me during my menses. He also used to put his head out of the mosque while he was in itikaf, and I would wash it during my menses. Narrated by Ibn Umar. Umar asked the Prophet peace be upon him, "I vowed in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance to stay in itikaf for one night in al-Masjid al-Haram." The Prophet peace be upon him said to him, "Fulfill your vow." Narrated by Amra. Aisha said, the Prophet peace be upon him used to practice itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan, and I used to pitch a tent for him, and after offering the morning prayer, he used to enter the tent. Hafsa asked the permission of Aisha to pitch a tent for her, and she allowed her, and she pitched her tent. When Zainab bint Yashir saw it, she pitched another tent. In the morning the Prophet peace be upon him noticed the tents. He said, "What is this?" He was told of the whole situation. Then the Prophet peace be upon him said, "Do you think that they intended to do righteousness by doing this?" He therefore abandoned the itikaf in that month and practiced itikaf for 10 days in the month of Shawwal. Narrated by Aisha. The Prophet peace be upon him intended to practice itikaf, and when he reached the place where he intended to perform itikaf, he saw some tents, the tents of Aisha, Hafsa, and Zainab. So, he said, "Do you consider that they intended to do righteousness by doing this?" And then he went away and did not perform itikaf in Ramadan, but performed it in the month of Shawwal for 10 days. Narrated by Ali bin al-Husayn. Safiyyah, the wife of the Prophet peace be upon him, told me that she went to Allah's Messenger peace be upon him to visit him in the mosque while he was in itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan. She had a talk with him for a while, then she got up in order to return home. The Prophet peace be upon him accompanied her. When they reached the gate of the mosque, opposite the door of Salama, 2 Ansari men were passing by, and they greeted Allah's apostle. He told them, "Do not run away," and said, "She is my wife Safiyyah bint Huyay." Both of them said, "Subhanallah, how dare we think of any evil, O Allah's Messenger peace be upon him." And they felt it. The Prophet said, to them, Satan reaches everywhere in the human body as blood reaches in it, everywhere in one's body. I was afraid lest Satan might insert an evil thought in your minds. Narrated by Abu Salama bin Abdurrahman. I asked Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, did you hear Allah's Messenger peace be upon him talking about the night of Qadr? He replied in the affirmative and said, once we were in itikaf with Allah's Messenger peace be upon him in the middle 10 days of Ramadan, and we came out of it in the morning of the 20th, and Allah's Messenger peace be upon him delivered a sermon on the 20th of Ramadan, and said, I was informed, of the date, of the night of Qadr, in my dream, but had forgotten it. So, look for it in the odd nights of the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. I saw myself prostrating in mud and water on that night, as a sign of the night of Qadr. So, whoever had been in itikaf with Allah's Messenger peace be upon him should return for it. The people returned to the mosque for itikaf. There was no trace of clouds in the sky. But all of a sudden a cloud came and it rained. Then the prayer was established, they stood for the prayer, and Allah's Messenger peace be upon him prostrate in mud and water, and I saw mud over the forehead and the nose of the Prophet. Narrated by Aisha. One of the wives of Allah's Messenger peace be upon him practiced itikaf with him while she had bleeding in between her periods, and she would see red, blood, or yellowish traces, and sometimes we put a tray beneath her when she offered the prayer. Narrated by Ali bin al-Husayn, from Safiyyah the Prophet's wife. The wives of the Prophet peace be upon him were with him in the mosque, while he was in itikaf, and then they departed, and the Prophet peace be upon him said to Safiyyah bint Huyay, don't hurry up, for I shall accompany you, and her dwelling was in the house of Usama. The Prophet peace be upon him went out, and in the meantime 2 Ansari men met him, and they looked at the Prophet peace be upon him and passed by. The Prophet peace be upon him said to them, come here. She is my wife Safiyyah bint Huyay. They replied, Subhanallah, how dare we think of evil, O Allah's Apostle. We never expect anything bad from you. The Prophet peace be upon him replied, Satan circulates in the human being as blood circulates in the body, and I was afraid lest Satan might insert an evil thought in your minds. Narrated by Ali bin al-Husayn from Safiyyah. Safiyyah went to the Prophet peace be upon him while he was in itikaf. When she returned, the Prophet peace be upon him accompanied her walking. An Ansari man saw him. When the Prophet peace be upon him noticed him, he called him and said, come here. She is Safiyyah. Sufyan, a sub-narrator, perhaps said that the Prophet peace be upon him had said, this is Safiyyah. And Satan circulates in the body of Adam's offspring as his blood circulates in it. A sub-narrator asked Sufyan, did Safiyyah visit him at night? He said, of course, at night. Narrated by Abu Sa'id. We practiced itikaf with Allah's Messenger peace be upon him in the middle 10 days of Ramadan. In the morning of the 20th of Ramadan, we shifted our baggage, but Allah's Messenger peace be upon him came to us and said, whoever was itikaf should return to his place of itikaf, for I was informed about the date of this night of Qadr, and saw myself prostrating in mud and water. When I returned to my place, the sky was overcast with clouds and it rained. By him who sent Muhammad with the truth, the sky was covered with clouds from the end of that day, and the mosque, which was roofed with leaf stalks of date palm trees, leaked with rain, and I saw the trace of mud and water over the nose of the Prophet peace be upon him and its tip. Narrated by Amra bint Abdurrahman from Aisha. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him used to practice itikaf every year in the month of Ramadan. And after offering the morning prayer, he used to enter the place of his itikaf. Aisha asked his permission to let her practice itikaf and he allowed her, and so she pitched a tent in the mosque. When Hafsa heard of that, she also pitched a tent for herself, and when Zainab heard of that, she too pitched another tent. When, in the morning, Allah's Messenger peace be upon him had finished the morning prayer, he saw 4 tents and asked, "What is this?" He was informed about it. He then said, "What made them do this? Is it righteousness? Remove the tents, for I do not want to see them." So, the tents were removed. The Prophet peace be upon him did not perform itikaf that year in the month of Ramadan, but did it in the last 10 days of Shawwal. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Umar bin al-Khattab said, "O Allah's Messenger peace be upon him, I vowed in the pre-Islamic period to perform itikaf in al-Masjid al-Haram for one night." The Prophet peace be upon him said, "Fulfill your vow." So, he performed itikaf for one night. Narrated by Ibn Umar. That Umar had vowed in the pre-Islamic period to perform itikaf in al-Masjid al-Haram. A sub-narrator thinks that Umar vowed to perform itikaf for one night. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him said to Umar, "Fulfill your vow." Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet peace be upon him used to perform itikaf every year in the month of Ramadan for 10 days, and when it was the year of his death, he stayed in itikaf for 20 days. Narrated by Amra bint Abdurrahman from Aisha. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him mentioned that he would practice itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan. Aisha asked his permission to perform itikaf and he permitted her. Hafsa asked Aisha to take his permission for her, and she did so. When Zainab bint Yashir saw that, she ordered a tent to be pitched for her and it was pitched for her. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him used to proceed to his tent after the prayer. So, he saw the tents and asked, "What is this?" He was told that those were the tents of Aisha, Hafsa, and Zainab. Allah's Apostle said, "Is it righteousness which they intended by doing so? I am not going to perform itikaf." So he returned home. When the fasting month was over, he performed itikaf for 10 days in the month of Shawwal. Narrated by Urwa. Aisha during her menses used to comb and oil the hair of the Prophet peace be upon him while he used to be in itikaf in the mosque. He would stretch out his head towards her while she was in her chamber.